Hello and welcome to Coffee with Keerthi again. Today we have a really fantastic lady with us, the first lady on Coffee with Keerthi. We have Miss Ankita Shroff, the founder of Spala, spaces for this. This is actually a little more skills, passions, art, learning, and activities. This is a lot of things that she's doing. uh, in the interview, I'm going to ask Ankita a lot of questions related to that. Welcome to Coffee with Keerthi. How are you doing today, Ankita?
Thank you, Keerthi. Honestly, lovely, wonderful, very positive as always. So far, so good.
Awesome. I'm honored to have you on our show actually because first of all you're the first lady on this show, and
My
second
pleasure.
you have a list of things that we want to discuss on this. So starting off, I want to first ask you about what you guys do at Scala and how this idea, where did it start, and a little bit background about your other works, if you can let us know about that to our audience here.
Okay, so I'm gonna go instead of going in a backflash, I'm gonna start from the present. This idea, okay, Spala actually came when I was hiking Kilimanjaro, one of the seven summits. I sold my first company, which was SAV Chemicals. We got a good exit of 17x. And
Wow.
the next question is, what do you do now? I had an option of joining my father's business, but I don't know if it was like the entrepreneur in me wanted to create something. And that's when the idea came. Was like, I've been always passionate about learning new things, about pursuing my talents, and, and we also had a lot of unutilized space asset in our house. So it was, how can we monetize on the space asset that we as a family had, versus how can I learn something also in a hyper local community. So a lot of doubts, a lot of questions. That's when I think it was when I went in this entire reflection introspection zone at Kilimanjaro, this idea came in, and then I dig deeper. I think that the conviction started growing. So Spala is in a very initial launch stage. We are yet doing our market research. It's only in January that I actually started working on it, that I got my company name, domain name, and stuff like that. So it's a baby, absolute baby, not even 3 months. Yeah. So that's how the idea came. How do I monetize on the assets and the resources that we have, and also pursue our passions? So that's how Spala got generated. Yeah.
Okay. And it talks about passion. It talks about skills. It talks about learning and activity. So can you tell me right now in this very early stage, what exactly, who is going to be the target
My target.
audience or target
Yeah.
customer, who is going to be benefited, and is this a platform that you're building? What is the whole concept
Yeah.
about?
So it is definitely an online platform. It's an inspiration from Airbnb,
Okay.
and so basically there's a supply side and a demand side. So
Mhm.
the supply is the kind of empty spaces. It could be backyards in your house, or your beautiful offices or kitchens. It could be music studios. It could be any unutilized space that you have, which people want to rent it out on an hourly basis. The
All
skills are that there's a lot of community of skilled people in our, we have so many people who can take painting classes, music artists. You have people who are chefs, but how do they spread their knowledge
right.
to the community? And the demand is the community who will come for these workshop or classes, where the skilled artisans or the skilled artists would book the space, and then they would take classes and spread knowledge and awareness. I think it's more on that kind. So it could be music, it could be right from needlework. It could be any form of art. It could be right from hair cutting. A salon can rent out a space for a. It could be as creative as utilizing a space and any skill, right?
Right.
Even a construction site could be used for, maybe, I don't know, it could go as deep as possible. It's a very huge market. But yeah, so I want to create hyper local markets. So in today's world, we don't want to commute. I think with Corona, we all are following social distancing. So and nobody's going to travel to learn new things. So how can we have these Spala centers in every pin code where you can learn new things and form a community of knowledge and awareness? So that's the concept. It's a bit complex working on it. Yes.
I think it's a very big vision that you have for to use different spaces. I think all the very best to you in that in this initiative.
Thank you.
Tell me something about your previous exit. You said 17x that, and it's very stereotypical that when a woman says that I exited the company, right? It's very difficult for people, for mostly the masculine gender, to really digest that. And I want to bring this story to our. We have a lot of ladies who follow us and follow Coffee with Keerthi. I want them to be encouraged and to know that we keep saying this, right? Women empowerment and everything, and you're a living example that any person, it doesn't matter whether it's a lady or a gentleman. It is what is important is the determination and the zeal to keep going. So please enlighten us about your exit, and tell me thing that would inspire mostly the ladies, please.
Okay, great. So I'll just tell you how SAV Chemicals started. I'm a computer engineer. I did my master's in management from Imperial Business School. That's when I met Richard. He's from Taiwan, and in 2014, we started this company, SAV Chemicals. It was an international joint venture.
Mm-hmm.
We were into manufacturing of adhesive, quick instant adhesives, where we were doing industrial and retail purpose adhesives. It was 5 years, I think, right from starting the company, leading a team of about 40 people. We did a turnover of about 10 crores.
Wow.
It was since 2000. Yes, it was doing really great. I think, but in 2018, so we were 35% and he was 65%. We wanted to increase our stakeholding and obviously get a majority or maybe an equal stakeholding. So that's when we started evaluating our company, looking at how can we infuse funds and change the shareholding pattern. That's when I think we had a lot of discussions we'd agreed on and stuff, but our visions were being friends and being co-founders. Our visions were a bit different. I wanted to go more towards a retail side and focus on creating a brand and taking it forward and invest more on machinery. Well, I think his bigger aim was to do OEM, focus on buying land in India, which I don't think a dead asset would actually value add in the company's balance sheet. So investing the money in marketing sales, I think we had different visions, different goals. Also, the valuation actually came out really very good, and we so now there was a call that being the majority stakeholder, vision being different, you can't, you're not going to be able to pursue your dream, right? That's a very tough thing, and it's not about money at all, I think, because it's about that comfort, it's about a satisfaction that you are really doing what you enjoy. And that's when I realized that I think it would be a smarter move for me to exit a company right now, because right now we just are making a profit of 1 crore. When numbers grow bigger, it gets more dirtier, I think. So we got a value. Yes, I think it's very difficult to exit then. It gets very dirty. Yes, so it was, I think now I really think it was a very wise decision, because I'm happier. I feel I'm focusing my energy on creating what I had my dreams. So we evaluated the company. So the company which we infused stock shares at about 10 rupees was at 200 rupees.
Wow.
Obviously, he was not very happy about giving me 200 rupees. So we negotiated and he negotiated. Although I wanted 200, I exited at 170 rupees. It was a win-win, yes. So that's how I got a 17x. So we put in about 25 lakhs as an initial capital. We got about 4.38 crores. So I think it was really nice.
Wow.
Yes, it
Wow.
was a lot of learning, I think a lot of negotiation, a lot of understanding how different people work in an ecosystem, right? Reading
Hmm.
minds, because finally it's, yeah, it was, I think, right from having a team, marketing, sales, finance, there's so much to look at. So I've learned quite a lot. It's been a
Awesome.
very interesting journey. Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. One, when you talk about those numbers in crores, that is first of all a great, great achievement. And I have a
Thank you.
list. I have a list, about your achievements here, Ankita. You've been the recipient of many, many awards, like in
Thank you.
mostly in the category of young women entrepreneurs. So you've been featured by India Today as women Pune's change maker, the 30 women under 30 by Franchise India, Power Women's Award, National Builder Award. So many different things, and you've been called at different events, different forums to be a speaker, and you're that representative of the Nari Shakti. I'm sorry if I'm emphasizing more on the gender, but I really really feel very proud to be associated with you and to be friends with you because it takes a lot of courage to be in this male dominated any industry, take any industry, it is a difficult journey, and a lot of women feel they need that support and stuff. What is your one message that you would especially give to women who are trying to be an entrepreneur specifically, and trying to come out of that shell and trying to do something? What is that one message that you would
I
like?
think you have to dream, you have to aspire, and you have to keep doing. Like you have to do your little bit, give your 100%. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, I think it's easier if, yeah, keep dreaming, keep aspiring, and there's no one to stop you. If you have that conviction and desire in you, I think the world can't stop you. So there's nothing about a woman or a man. I think anyone for that
Right,
matter.
right, right. True. So I'm sure in your journey you've made some mistakes, and there've been some learnings. I'm pretty sure because anybody successful never reaches somewhere without making any mistakes. Do you want to highlight any such mistakes that feel that kind of changed the trajectory of what you were trying to do, and took you to a whole new place that kind of is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I started very early, and my knowledge about finance and accounts was extremely poor.
Okay.
And I realized that that's the backbone of every company. If you don't know your numbers, you need to be extremely strong when you start any company and be aware of every financial decision you take, because that's how sustainably the company grows. Um, Again, so I've seen LBT, I've seen VAT, I've seen GST, I've seen all the different phases of, right from octroi, because it was manufacturing. So I've seen so many taxes that I've paid. It could be excise, it was yeah. So it was important for me to learn all these things and take decisions accordingly and do your financial management, because it all boils down to money by the end
Right.
of the day.
Right.
The second thing I would say is the marketing and sales strategy. I think first thing is getting your money secure, and also you have to get your numbers right in terms of your sales. A very funny mistake I'll tell you about was, so in the retail market, when we're trying to compete with a giant called Pidilite, okay, so we got about a 2 crore funding from the government, where we were trying to create a retail brand. And I had no idea, so I splurged money on making a radio ad, newspaper ads, giving samples. But then I realized that there was no market research. There was no proper distribution channel for a 5 rupee or a 20 rupee product. And when you're competing with such a big company, you have to be extremely strong.
Right.
Uh, we did a lot of ads, and then we were getting phone calls. भैया मुझे वो 5 रुपए वाली आपका लाल कलर वाला चीज कहाँ मिलता है? And then I realized that that product was not available in every hardware store, banya store, or even a chai wala dukan, because
Right.
nobody is going to travel that much to just get an adhesive.
Right.
So getting a distribution channel was extremely important, and then looking at sales to create a brand name, I think is I realized that how you need to have your planning well in advance before you take any major decision when it comes to marketing and sales. So that's another second learning I realized. The third thing is getting the right consultants on board. I think I made blunders initially. We chose the wrong people. I was naive. I didn't know a lot of things. People did fool us, and they might be expensive, but getting the right consultant, like right collaborators, are extremely important, because we had to change two company secretaries because there was some filing that was not done on time, and the penalties increased. So having a good team of knowledgeable consultants is a must, because you can't be a master in every field. I can't be a company secretary, I can't be a CA, I can't be a GST consultant. So or even like your trademarks, getting the legalities sorted was extremely important and a learning for me. So it's always good to get the right people who can advise you properly and save your money. So I think I'll put them down into financial. How do you plan your finance? Is the most important, and being aware. Second is planning for sales and strategy, and the third is having the right consultant, and obviously a right team, because you need a team to grow. Otherwise, you can't grow. So I think let me just put it down into 3 points.
Awesome. I think
because I played lots of blunders even while recruiting people. I was 25 recruiting a 50-year-old experienced salesperson. My energy level, his energy level was different. You need to have people of the same value system, same visions. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. Yeah, getting the right people on board is always a difficult thing. So yeah, I think getting the right people it's a mystery everywhere.
Absolutely. I think it's your story is very raw, and there's a lot of I think it's a process that you have went through to really make it to where you are now. So talking about sustainability, you also are the CMO of Sprout, a green building consultancy. So tell me something about that.
Yes. So actually, this is my sister's a co-founder. She's an architect and a lead IP, which is basically leadership in energy and environmental design. So she heads Sprout. So they do green building consultancy. They do energy audits. They're working for a lot of companies internationally, right? From a lot of brands like Prada, Louis Vuitton. Their offices they've even consulted the L'Oreal factory here, worked with the PMC Pune on a couple of there's a couple of centers that they've audited and consulted. So yes, so sustainability. I think I was on a fellowship in Sweden in 2016, which was on sustainable businesses and responsible leadership. That's when I realized that I wanted to work to sustainability. The goals, SDG goals, are so important for in every aspect. It could be financial sustainability or environmental or human. So after I sold my company, I think because maybe I had better marketing skills, they told me, why don't you join in as a marketing, leading the marketing team at Sprout. Yes, so we do a couple of green building projects for residential, commercial, a lot of schools, colleges, institutions that we're working on. So it's interesting. It's very recent again, but yes. And yeah, so that's how sustainability. And I just started an initiative. I think the lockdown has been so productive for me because I rolled out 2 initiatives which were amazing. So we just started an initiative called Sustain and Save, which is basically it's gonna be an inspiring influential knowledge portal where we're gonna give information about green products, sustainable initiatives, and inspiring stories of people leading that life. So it's just going to be a knowledge, information, inspiration for everyone to just something like your story, but your story is for startup. It could be product designers who actually help in making green products. It could be architect designers, anyone who is leading organic and sustainable life. Yes, so that's an initiative I started. So yes, so it's interesting. It's been amazing.
Awesome. You're wearing so many different hats, and doing so much of work. How do you find time to do so many different things? Is a question. How do you manage to do, and now how is this lockdown also treating you? You said it's been more productive for you. So how do you cope to do everything? With ease and with a smile always. I've always seen that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think, I don't know, whenever I take up something, so even if I do put in two hours, it's a focused 2 hours, and it's a lot of delegation, it's a lot of teamwork. I am definitely not doing everything everywhere, but I have a bigger picture. And obviously we have Zoom calls, and then I would delegate and give the entire team work to work on it, and that's how we actually are achieving our results. Yes, it's a lot of multitasking. I sometimes go crazy, but then the lockdown has been so nice because it's been peaceful. Oh, I mean, it's been efficient for me. It's more planned. I have an extremely systematic routine. I have my call scheduled, so it's really. I think it's been really so nice for me. Yeah, so a lot of the initial 1 week was a bit different. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I kind of focused on learning new skills, which was I couldn't cook. So I first tried to learn a life skill, which was, cooking. Then I
Oh
focused
wow.
on decluttering, gaining some knowledge. And then that's when I realized, okay, this is going to get extended. I need to plan and schedule my entire lockdown in a fruitful way so
Correct.
that I could create something more inspiring. Yes. And then you get the team, you have calls, and yes.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
so far it's been, I think, very positive, very inspiring for my own self. I feel empowered myself. It's like I don't have to prove the world anything. It just,
Correct.
I feel happy. I
Right.
know I'm working out, I feel happy. I know I'm like working focused. It's
Right.
more like focused caps that you wear.
Right.
You have, okay, like 2 hours of this work, then 2 hours of that work. So that's how you do. But yes, the brain's continuously busy. It's super crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of positivity during this lockdown. I think for a lot of people, it is definitely very peaceful and productive, and people like you are making the most of it is fantastic. So one last question I have, Ankita, talking about the bigger picture. What is your vision, the big vision that you have, either for Spala or for Sprout, or things that you are doing? Other than that, you're helping a lot of people with a lot of things. So what is that big vision in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see yourself uh, doing what? And also please tell us about your role model in the same question, within the question of who do you see yourself to become in the next 5, 10 years.
Okay. I think in the bigger picture, all my projects are working towards sustainability. I believe we're going to have a fixed and a very limited resource segment. It could be human capital. That's why skills. It could be financial capital. That's why shared economy. It could be space asset, which could be again the space that I'm talking. So it's how can we utilize all our resources in the most fruitful way and bring about a sustainable lifestyle is the bigger goal in about 10, 15 years time. It's going to be definitely a shared economy. We're going to have tough times. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, but we have to protect all our resources in whatever way it is. So that's the bigger picture. Spala, definitely, I want to start off with India, Pune first, make it worldwide like an Airbnb or a big company could be. Yes, definitely use every space asset, make every skilled person inspired enough to spread knowledge and create communities. I think it's a very easy idea. It's all about implementation, where that's the tough part,
Correct.
obviously.
Correct.
Sprout, yes, I think the norms are working towards, I think internationally, we're talking about impact investments, we're talking about sustainability so much. In terms of a consulting company, Sprout is definitely going to have a lot of international and projects in India, which is important. Again, they all come down to a green and sustainable living, right? So again, the second startup, I think in a bigger picture is we want to go more. We already have projects which are more international, but there is so much to always. We've not even tapped like 0.001% of the market. So how can we grow in that is always a thing. I think yes, and what else?
The
I think
role
in
model.
all, I think. Sorry.
Who's your role model?
Oh, yes, sorry, that was the question. Yes. So I have a couple of role models. I think I want to take up different qualities of uh, three people, and I'll tell you. I think my first role model is JRD Tata and Ratan Tata. So I really like how they, as a family, they create a conglomerate of so many industries, and I think the value system that they have, and everyone knows them for that, is something that I really look up to. I hope I could also create a conglomerate under my granddad's name, PK Shroff. So I would want to be like a lady who creates a conglomerate, and not like we always hear of men leading family businesses, but I want to be a woman who leads that. So I take the inspiration from the Tatas to create a legacy, which I hope I can do that. I think I really look up to even Anu Aga. She's the MD. She was the MD of Thermax. So I think these women really inspire me. I've met her a couple of times. I don't know. Her aura is so inspiring. The way she talks, so structured. So she's seen a very tough life, and getting the company Thermax from where it was to what it is now after her husband died. I think it's her story is really inspiring to me. I think my father inspires me, and the third person is my father. He's dedicated a lot of his life to giving back to society. I think that's something which I want to look at. He's associated with the skill sector of India, where he's helping construction workers. So I think like my end goal would be to be present with UN or UNICEF, where I work on anything related to child health and education. So I think in the bigger picture, I think these are the three role models, and then I would want to work towards achieving the goals towards myself. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yes,
Awesome.
definitely the Tata family, Anuvaga and my dad.
Awesome. I think there's a lot of from what I've heard, there's a lot of things that go in the value system, right? We're talking about
Yeah.
giving back. We're talking about Tatas who are like the epitome of value systems. A lot of integrity, and then coupled with that is there's sustainability, and then there's skills that you want to really kind of help a lot of people with skills and stuff. So I for one think that where you're going to be that next lady who's going to create a lot of good stuff, that this country, this the whole human race would really applaud. And I am so fortunate to have you here on Coffee with Keerthi. Thank you, really, thank you so very much. And I hope our audience gets to meet you somewhere. There, I would like to in the description of this video, I'd like to put some information about you, which I will definitely do, so that they whether somebody's working on sustainability projects, or somebody's working in terms of skill development and things like that, we'll definitely want to get in touch with you. Thank you so very much,
Yes.
Ankita. I really appreciate your time to be with us here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Keerthi. It was a pleasure to have this conversation. It's always good to inspire, get inspired as well from everyone. So thank you for having me here. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.